started in a few moments. Does everybody have a card? Okay. She's going to be coming down. I know we got other people coming. I have a couple note cards because I'm working on some new information. So if I look at my notes, it's not that I don't know it. It's just that I want to make sure that I get everything so that you have everything. So yes, I am. So we're going to start in about 2 minutes. So everyone should have a white card, and what you want to do is you want to write on the back of the card something that you want this year, like to win the lottery, or money, or travel. And then you want to focus on that card every single day. That's the key. So we'll talk about that later. Does everybody have a card? If not, there's more in the back. If you know anybody that's not here, you can give them a card. There's plenty. So we're going to start in a few minutes.
So can it?
I have 600 cards, and I probably have about 20 people here today. Yeah, so I have plenty. Yeah.
So can this be long-term, short-term, mid-term?
This year, 2024.
This year.
Yeah, this is 2024. Yeah. Yeah. You got something in mind?
Yeah, I'm trying to organize that kitchen after major construction.
Oh, okay. How long have you been doing this construction?
Since Easter. It started out with a large dot on the floor.
Wow.
And then my brothers cut the kitchen. There were 6 kitchen floors.
Wow. Oh, you mean layers of like, okay, linoleum, tile.
Yeah.
How old's the house?
1930s. And the bottom one was burned. And we think there was a rug in there.
Oh my God, in the kitchen, a rug?
Oh
my God.
You know, people in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, it's a shag rug.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, gotcha.
I learned a lot. I learned that I used your gun in 30 years.
Reminds me of our insert.
I figured maybe a bobcat or something.
It's a good back too. We can't fall asleep in this one. We have to focus.
No. I'm ready when you are.
Yep. Hi, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming today. At the Watertown Library Association in the Woodward Atrium, which we are very pleased to have you in. Today I'm very happy to have Greg Dwyer with us, and he's going to help us focus at the beginning of 2024. I'm especially pleased that you had enough focus to come out prior to the storm, so that's a good thing. And I hope you will get something out of this, enjoy, and we'll see you again. Make sure you watch watertownlibrary.org for upcoming events. And call us if you need anything, you have questions. We are here to assist you. And if people were needing pencils, I fired up some fresh new ones if you didn't bring your own writing utensil. I should have let you choose. No, I'll have them right at the back if anybody wants. Okay? And without further ado, Mr. Greg Dwyer.
So, how are those resolutions going?
Slowly.
Slowly. Do you know that by February, next month, 80% of the people who picked New Year's Eve resolutions have already failed? Only 8% of people who have a resolution on New Year's Eve make it to the end of the year. And I actually heard the numbers even lower, like 2%. That means 98, 97, a great percentage of people fail. And what this means is most people get focused. Very few people stay focused. And it's not what you think, it's how you think. People who are really focused and successful, they have a different way of thinking. Now, people who try to get focused, they tend to rely on tips or best practices like avoid caffeine or work offline. Those things are great, but people who are focused, they don't rely on those techniques because they're already focused. It's how they think. That's the secret. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about that secret, how people think. Now, it's interesting that you're here today because it tells me one thing about you. And it tells me that you want to change, that you want to focus, and that you want to make something happen. So every single one of you has a card. Lift up your card if you have it in front of you. On the back of that card, what you would do is you would simply write down a word like love or money or travel. Something that you're going to look at every single day to keep you on track so that you can beat the odds. That's the purpose of the card. So it's really clear that you write a word down. Get really clear. A lot of people, they want health, they want love, they want money, they want travel. There's not a million things. There's probably like 10 or 20 things that people want to improve in their life. Finances, relationships, health. But the first step is to get really clear on what you want. Now, the reason why I think people fail is because they rely on the conscious mind. And here's what I want to let you know. The conscious mind is easily distracted. I learned this as a magician back in the 70s. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Put everything away, you're going to need to have your hands free just like this. And if you could, and if you want to play along and you want to learn something, bring your hands just like this. So you're going to have your thumbs facing up. You've got to put the cell phone away, the pens and everything. And what you do is really simple. Is you take the left hand or the left arm and you place it over the right, just like I'm doing. Now, if you can do this, you would bring your thumbs down just like this. Watch me. And then when you bring them down, you're going to hold them together in a fist and you're not going to let go really tight. Now, if you're doing it correctly, take a look. Your thumbs will be here at the bottom and the pinkies will be at the top. All right? And you should be holding them like a fist. Holding them like a fist. All right? So all you do is you just do what I'm doing. Watch me. Just like that. So here's the point. How did I do that? I did it with misdirection. And here's the backstory. The backstory is really simple. It was 1972. I was 10 years old. It was Christmas. I was at my grandparents'. There was 34 people in the room, all in the basement of my grandparents' house. Big Italian family. Now, 1972, people didn't have distractions like cell phones or computers or internet. People were drinking and they were smoking and they were all talking at the same time. Imagine this, a big Italian family all talking at the same time in the 70s. All of a sudden, my uncle Victor Riley, who's an Irishman who didn't need to kiss the Blarney Stone, he picks up a coin, right, in his hand, and he goes like this, and it's gone. And now I'm 10. It's my birthday, Christmas. I go, what? I couldn't believe it. I was like, Uncle Vic, how did you do that? I can't tell you, kid, it's a secret. I said, I know, but I can keep a secret. He says, yeah, I know, but so can I. So I begged him and that was the night that I got the magic bug. That was the night that I met misdirection. Now, misdirection has two tricks to distract the conscious mind. The first one is multitasking, and the second one is information overload. Now, when it comes to multitasking, we all do it, or if we've ever worked, we're all doing it, but I can tell you right now, it's not good for us. Multitasking is not good. In fact, it can be dangerous. When people drive cars and go to work in the morning or they're on the highway, 400,000 people every single year get hurt because they're driving a car and they're looking at their cell phone at the same time. The average person picks up their phone every day. They tap it, they swipe it, and they click it 2,617 times a day. When people get to work, you know, if they're working, they waste, or I should say steal, 12.5 hours every single week from the people that they work for. $650 billion is estimated in America as being lost because people are not paying attention at work. And sadly, 4,000 people die every single year because they're driving a car and they look down at the phone at the wrong time, and that's the last time. Misdirection uses multitasking. That's how I did that trick. The other thing that she uses is information overload, giving you too much information so you can't handle it. There was a guy by the name of George Miller that wrote a paper many years ago called The Magical Number of 7. And what he said about 7 is that we can only take in about 7 bits of information at the same time. There's so many things going on in the room, there's so many things going on outside, there's so many things that are going on in your head. We can only focus on about 7 bits of information, give or take a couple. That's it. Now, to prove this, there was an internet video. I don't know if you saw this. It's called The Monkey Business Illusion. Did anybody see it? All right, they have 2 teams. They have a black team like me, all dressed in black jerseys over here. They have another team over there, all wearing white jerseys. And they're passing the basketball among the group here, and they're passing the basketball in that group over there. And they brought a group of people in just like you, and they said, count how many times the basketball is being passed. Spoiler alert, if you go online, type in Google or YouTube, and you'll find The Monkey Business Illusion. The answer is 16. They actually passed the ball 16 times. And they said to the folks, how many know? And people are like, I know it's 16. Some people got 14, whatever. They had a guy dressed in a gorilla suit. Gorilla, big guy, 6'5". He walks out into the middle where the podium is, goes like this, goes like that, and only 50% of the people saw it. Isn't that amazing? Information overload. You can't take in everything. It's totally impossible. So I don't have a gorilla, but it would be like this. If I asked you to look around the room for seven, just look around for 7 things that are red right now. Just do that. 7 things. You could do it. It says focus with Greg Dwyer. See that? That's red, right? It's easy. You could memorize 7 things that are red. If I gave you a quiz at the end, you would be able to write down 7 things that are red. Now, if I said to you, write down or think of 7 things in the room right now that are blue, plus the 7 things that are red, and then another 7 things that were red, and another 7 things that are blue, you couldn't do it. You would have too much information. And this is what misdirection does. So they brought the group back in. They said, we want to give you another chance. We want to give you another chance to watch the video. They had the black team over here. They had the white team over there. They said, this time, forget the fact that they're counting 16, because we know the answer to that. That's simple, right? That's really easy. Watch for the gorilla. Watch for the gorilla. So they played the video again, passing the basketball 16 times. Gorilla guy walks out, goes like this, shut off the camera, turn on the lights. How many saw the gorilla? Everybody in the room saw the gorilla. And they said, did you notice that the curtain, the backdrop changed colors? It was blue, now it's red. Guess what? No one recognized it. So here's my point. If you're writing things down, here's the first point. The conscious mind is easily distracted through misdirection. So who wants to learn the trick that I showed you a few seconds ago? I'm going to show it to you. All right, let's do this. Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Take your hands like this. I'm going to teach you how to do this, all right? Now all I ask You look like you're getting arrested. And you have the right to remain silent. Have you been through this before? All right. All right. All I ask is you don't teach this to anybody. You know, you can show your grandkids. Don't put it on YouTube and expose it. Actually, David Copperfield out in Vegas, this is how he starts his show. So it's a real trade secret, all right? So I'll teach it to you as a secret, but just don't tell people. So all you do is you take, I'm gonna go really slow. Take your hands like this, your thumbs will be facing up, right? Remember how we did it before?
Yeah.
And what you're gonna do. Now watch me, don't do it, just watch me, because I want, you can hold your hands like this, but watch me, and then we'll do it together. How's that? So just all eyes up here, focus, focus, focus. All right, this is what I did. You're going to be laughing, sir. I can see you laughing. When I went like this, and I brought my hands like this, just watch me. Don't do it. Just watch me. All right? And what I did is I said, if you're doing it right, just watch me. Don't do it. I brought it over like this, and I said, if you're doing it right, your thumb should be at the bottom. I let go. I let go. And then I brought them around like that. That's all I did. So you were paying attention to your thumbs, and while you were paying attention to your thumbs, I let go. I let go. That was the secret. So let's do it together. Thumbs up just like this. All right? Got it? All right, now bring it around like this, really tight. Now hold on to it. You got to tighten your finger. Your finger should be all tight now. Yes, turn it around. All right, now, watch where I let go. Watch up here where I let go. I don't have to, I already did it. How do I do it? Misdirection. The conscious mind is easily distracted. I hope it proved the point. Have a seat. So, if the conscious mind is easily distracted, and I think I proved that point today, I was thinking to myself, well, maybe the answer, maybe like me, maybe you're like me, maybe the answer is the unconscious. But here's the problem, here's the challenge. Misdirection has two tricks when it comes to the unconscious mind. First is programming, and the second is conditioning. Because misdirection recognizes that the unconscious mind is already on autopilot. It's 1973, December 26, a year later from my grandparents' house, when my Uncle Victor showed me the trick. 12 months later. I'm in the living room of my house in New Fairfield, Connecticut. My mom is sitting next to me. And all of a sudden on the telly, or the television, comes the trailer or the commercial for The Exorcist. Now my mom was really Catholic, really religious. I can, you know, it's been over 50 years, I can still hear her now. She would say things like, "Oh, I can't wait." And then she would roll her eyes. That was my mom. Now, I was a young kid, so I said, "Mom, it's just a TV show. It's just a commercial." She goes, "Gregory," I knew I was in trouble. She goes, "Gregory, be careful what you expose your mind to." I said, "Mom, it's just a stupid show. It's just a Hollywood. It does, you know." She goes, "Gregory, be careful what you expose your mind to." Now, these commercials haven't been on television for years. See if you can help me out. See if you remember. Don't squeeze the Charmin. That hasn't been on for years. Where's the beef? You deserve a break today at... Exactly. So here's what I want you to know. I have been, you have been, we all have been programmed. We all have been programmed since a little child. Up until 8, 10 years old, everything we took in with our eyes, everything we took in with our ears, we have been programmed. Let me show you. Look up here. Think of a number between 1 and 10, like 3. The number that should pop in your mind is 7. Now I want you to think of 2 primary colors. Think of red. Think of blue. You've been programmed. We all have been programmed. Now, what's programming? Programming is what has happened to us. Conditioning is what we do to ourselves. Now, people who study this say we have 45 to 65,000 thoughts every single day. And 90% of our thoughts are going to be the same the next day. So what's today? What is today? Today is Saturday. Tomorrow, you're going to have 45 to 65,000 thoughts tomorrow. And 90% of them are going to be the same. What's the next day? Monday. You know, we're a couple days, weeks into the new year, right? You're going to have 45 to 65,000 thoughts on Monday. And 90% of them are going to be the same. 50% of what you think, what you say, and what you do is repeated. It's a habit. It's going to be repeated day after day after day. So here's what happens. December 31st, people set New Year's resolutions, and then what happens is this kicks in. And that's the reason why people can't change. Anybody see that movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray? Mm-hmm. So every single day is the same day, and he gets sick of it. He gets so sick of it because every day is the same. And this is the reason why over 80% of people who set New Year's Eve resolutions, they fail by February. So, feeling optimistic? If the conscious mind is easily distracted, right? Think about this. And then on top of it, the unconscious is on autopilot. You're all on autopilot. I'm on autopilot. Programming and conditioning. You don't think politicians condition? You don't think religious people condition? You don't think television conditions? They do. We all do. Salespeople do. I'm doing it now. I started at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I've been doing it to you from the beginning. It's conditioning, it's programming, it's influence, and we've all been influenced. So the question I have is there hope to change? Is there hope to focus? Well, I think there is. I really do. I think there is. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't waste your time if there wasn't an answer. However, I will tell you this. You can't beat the numbers. You can't beat the numbers. There's always going to be a large group of people, the masses, who are going to get distracted. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't change that. It's impossible. It's like a bell curve. Are you familiar, if you've ever taught in school or know anything about school? There's a bell curve. There's always going to be a large group of people that are always going to be distracted. They're going to set New Year's resolutions of weight loss or whatever. And they're going to go right back to where they were before. They're going to get distracted because of the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. Nothing to do about it. And then there's a small percentage of folks, small, like really small, who stay focused and they know exactly what they want and they get it, and it's based on their thinking. Jerry Seinfeld said it this way. I was in Watertown over the summer. My sister lives right down the street. We're from New Fairfield, so not too far from here. I was sitting watching Jerry Seinfeld. He was doing an episode called Comedians Get Coffee in Cars. I don't know if you've ever seen it on Netflix. So we're watching it, and this is what Jerry says. He's sitting across, I think it was spontaneous, it was brilliant. I picked up my pen and started writing it down. I couldn't believe what he said. This is what he said. There's a lack of greatness in the world today because there's a lack of focus. And I went, oh my, I wish I had said that. That's what he said. He said there's a lack of greatness in the world today because there's a lack of focus. So I think the solution is this, and I think there's hope, and I'll tell you why. If you've ever watched the movie Groundhog Day, what happens is he hits bottom, and he desires to change. Like he's living his life day after day, week after week, but eventually he gets tired of it. I don't know if any of you feel that way, but he gets tired of it, and he hits bottom. If you ever watch the movie, I watch it February 2nd. Watch it February 2nd or buy it, download it. It's a brilliant movie. But he hits bottom. He's like, I can't do this anymore. He gets so depressed he wants to take his life rather than living the same day over and over again. And I think that's the secret. The secret is you have to hit bottom and you have to have a real strong desire to change, and that's what happens. And then in the movie, he changes. He changes. Now, I know what it's like to hit bottom. 1978, I was in high school in New Fairfield. My mother died. I was 15 years old. It was like the rug was pulled out from underneath me. I didn't expect it. My dad didn't expect it. My brother, my sister, none of us expected it. But I was 15. You know, you bounce back, you're flexible. But it was tough. It was really tough. But I finished high school, barely got out of high school, went to college, went to graduate school, got a bunch of degrees after my name, and at 30 years old, I went out to change the world. And I got my teeth knocked in. I really did. It was tough. And then my wife left. It was really tough. And all I can tell you is this. When all of this was happening, I remember I was living in Ohio at the time, and I was outside, and I looked down on the ground. I actually got on my knees, and I looked down at the ground. There was a patch of snow, a little bit of ice, some twigs, and some leaves. I was so stressed out. I had hit bottom so hard. The only way I could look is up. But I was looking down, and I couldn't figure out what season we were in. I didn't know what month it was. I didn't know what season it was before, had no idea what season we were going into, like it was fall going into winter or winter going into spring, for about 30 seconds. That's how stressed out I was. I had totally hit bottom. So I was looking for answers, just like the guy in the movie, and I got involved in the personal development industry. And what I was looking for is the answer. What is the difference between the people who are in the masses that keep on doing the same thing over and over again, and they don't live lives that's really great, versus the people that are so focused? How in the world do they do that? How do they do that? And for 20 years, I spent going to seminars, reading books, listening to CDs. I probably spent thousands of dollars. I could have bought another house. I could have bought a house in Florida. I spent 2 decades. And what I wanted to know is, how do these people think? And what I realized was this. You can't change the fact that there's going to be a big group of people who are going to just keep on repeating the same patterns over and over again, versus the people that are going to make change and stay focused. The only thing you can change is which group you want to be part of. So after spending all of that money and all of that time thinking, how do we change the numbers? You know, get the masses to stay focused. I realize you can't. There's a bell curve, the numbers are set, but what you can decide is which group you want to be in. And so I knew I had to find a mentor. I knew I had to find somebody that actually could help me. And this is what happened. I got a phone call to go out to London, England. And this person called me up and he said, I want to bring you out to London and I want you to do a sales training. So I'm like, this is great. So I went out to London, England, and I gave a presentation. It was a sales presentation for a group of business people. And they loved it. I talked about team building and I talked about sales and closing because I love that topic. And there was a gentleman in the group in London that said, you got to come to Vegas. I have something going on in Vegas. You got to come to Vegas and give the same presentation. So a lot of times people see me, they like the presentation, they're like, you got to come to the Elks Club or you got to come here. Most of my business is word of mouth, that's how it works. So I went to Vegas and I gave the same presentation and they loved it. And then afterwards I found out that there was a party afterwards which I was not invited to. And I knew I had to get to that party. So I got myself on the list. A friend of mine, Paul, put me on the list. I went to the party. These people were successful people. These people were focused people. They worked in Vegas, they worked in Hollywood, they worked in business, and I knew that I had to get into their atmosphere. So I met this guy by the name of Kenton Nepper. He's a friend of mine. He started off being my mentor. But how do I explain Kenton? Kenton looks like the Wizard of Oz. He's a little short guy. He's got a long, if you go to my website, you'll see him there. He's got a long website, very mysterious. And I became friends with him. I took a picture with him, then I followed up with him, and then finally I had the courage to say to him, I want to learn from you. Because I recognized that you don't want to reinvent the wheel. You want to learn from people that know what they're doing and they are successful. So he agreed. So I literally moved into his house. Yeah. I moved into his house for 2 days and 1 night. And we worked around, I paid him a lot of money. We worked around the clock. And I can't tell you everything that we talked about. It'd be impossible. But the first thing he did, which was pretty clever of him, is he flooded my conscious mind. Remember I told you that the conscious mind is easily distracted, right? I talked about multitasking, and I talked about the fact that sensory overload or information overload. That's what he did to me. For 4 hours, we sat at dinner. He just talked and shared information so that my brain was completely absorbed. I couldn't think anymore. And at that point, he was influencing me to get to the next level. He first had to get rid of the resistance of my conscious mind. And we spent 2 days together at his house, and then one day, as we're working, he literally looked at me. He just stared at me. That's all he did. He didn't say a word. And I was in a trance. And it was though he was saying with his eyes, focus with hypnosis. And I was like, what? So what I learned is successful people, and hypnosis, it sounds crazy, but it's no different than looking at your cell phone for 5 minutes and turns into 20, or getting on social media and it turns into an hour of looking, or being on the highway and driving and you forget where you are. I'm talking about hypnosis that we go into on a daily basis anyway. We all do it. We all go into trance states every single day. But what Kenton taught me is that successful people use hypnosis to stay focused. Now, I can't share everything with you today. I can only share a few points, but I have these cards that have data on them. And they're not for sale. I'm not selling them at the library. But if you want the information, you would download the information. Many of his books are here, and many of my books are here, and you can get this information. Just talk to me afterwards. Again, they're not for sale. So this is what I learned. It's pretty simple. This represents the conscious mind. This represents the unconscious. So I said earlier that the conscious mind is easily distracted, and the unconscious is already on autopilot. So this is what happens. December 31st rolls in, and people say, I want to make more money, right? This is the conscious mind. The conscious mind says, I want to make more money, or I want to be in a relationship, or I want to lose weight. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to change my life, right? This is what most people do. But 40% of them, or I should say 80% of them, fail by New Year's, right? Or I should say February. So what's going on here? What's going on here is this is easily distracted, but this is running the show. It's the unconscious. The unconscious says things like, who do you think you are? You're a loser. Who do you think you are? Your parents didn't love you. Who do you think you are? Nobody made over $100,000 a year. You're not going to do that. You think you deserve love? You don't deserve love. Now, you're not aware of this. You're not aware of this because it's below the surface. It's below the surface. Like, you have to get into major therapy to figure this stuff out. The reason why people go into therapy is because this is out of whack. This is the reason why people go to therapy. I have therapists. I've seen therapists. You probably know that. But this is what I know. When this and this are not in harmony, that's the reason why people seek therapy. That's the reason. This is saying one thing on a subconscious level below the surface, and this is saying something else. So, how do you change this? 3 steps, 3 simple steps. Easy to do, easy not to do. Number 1, successful people, they're able to harmonize the conscious with their unconscious. So there's no conflict. So what they say they're going to do and what they say they want is complete harmony with their unconscious. Now, if you're programmed from a little kid that your parents said mean things to you and you're carrying around all of these negative thoughts, You can say this and say this till the cows come home. It's not going to happen. This has to be in harmony with this. So what Kenton taught me, because he's my mentor and friend, is successful people who focus, connect, or harmonize these 2 points using their imagination. And that's the boat on the water. The way to connect these 2 things is imagination. Now, if you don't like imagination, you don't like hypnosis, it's daydreaming. Think about daydreaming. You're thinking about going on that cruise, or that's daydreaming. A lot of people go to work these days and they just sit there and they daydream. People who are really focused and really successful, they use the daydreaming and their imagination to get to where they want to go. It's that simple. Now, do the masses do this? Sorry, they don't. They don't. They drift along aimlessly. You know, sad. But if you want to get somewhere, you connect these 2 things through the imagination. That's the first step. The second step is it places you into a hypnotic trance. Or if you don't like hypnosis, it places you into a dreaming stance. The best time to do this is in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, when I wake up in the morning, when I'm in an alpha state, I'm kind of in a dreamy state, that's when to do this. Another time to do this is when you're going to sleep at night. But this is what all successful people do, whether they know it or not. Whether they know it or not. They connect the conscious with the unconscious, using their imagination that places them into a hypnotic state, and then they take action. First in their imagination, and then second in reality. Think about this for a minute. They know what they want, they connect it with the unconscious, they use their imagination that puts them in a trance, and then they wash, rinse, and repeat this until it becomes reality, and then they are the guy a year from now that lost the weight. They're the woman that made the money. They're the person that made it to the top of the sales. And people say, how did you do it? What did you do? They're like, I don't know. I just thought about it every single day. I just talk to myself about this every single day. I've met salespeople, top salespeople, they don't know that they're doing this. Take a picture of this. This is the secret formula. This is the secret formula. When you talk to people that are really successful, they're doing these 3 steps whether they know it or not. They have harmony between this and this, conscious and unconscious. They use their imagination. They put themselves in a trance. They're thinking about it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they're taking action in their imagination first, and then they go out there, and then they make it happen. Now we're going to have questions and answers in a few minutes, but can I show you this? Can I demonstrate this to you? Can I show you what this looks like? No? Are you guys in a trance? Are you here? Yeah. Okay. All right, we're going to do something fun. You see it? It's a lemon. It's a lemon. A lemon. It's a nice juicy lemon. It's right there. See the lemon? Some of you don't see the lemon. It's okay. It's all right. Some of you will see the lemon. Now, here's a knife. It's a knife. I'm going to cut the lemon. I'm going to put it in my mouth. All the juices are coming down. Oh! Oh! Hold on one second. So, who saw it? Anybody? Raise your hand.
I tasted it.
Did you taste it? How many of you, just be honest, it's okay. How many of you did it? Okay, that's fine. All right. So we're going to make this a little easier on you. Let's try it this way. Ready? All right, those of you that raised your hand that you didn't see it, this is called a visual aid. Yeah, no, I'm here to help. No, it's not really a lemon. It's plastic. It's plastic. All right, let's see if we can get the people who didn't see it to see it and feel it and experience it using their imagination. You up for that? This is the key. This is simple. It's simple to do. It's also simple not to do. Ready? So either way, you're going to be in a trance. You're going to put yourself in the trance you were in before you came here, or you're going to put yourself in a better trance. Think about that. Okay, watch. Watch. You see? Now watch. Now this has got bumps on it. Got bumps on it. How many of you... Actually, let's do it this way. Do it with me. Do it with me. Put your hand out. You got a lemon in your hand. 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 Lemon, lemon, lemon. Okay. Smell your lemon. Okay. Maybe feel it. It's rough. Put it up against your chin. You feel it? I'm trying to help you. Trying to help you. Trying to get you there. Feel it. Feel it. Smell it. Now, just imagine what it's going to be like to bite into this lemon. It's going to be gross. You doing it? All right, watch this. Ready? All right, watch. Wait, let me cut it first. Let me cut it first. I can't believe this. Okay, watch. Okay. Did that help any better? That's fine. You're excused. Is there anybody in here that actually felt it? You? Who else? You? Yeah? All right. Raise your hand really high. I need to find out where my people are. Okay. You at the end. What is your name?
Tammy.
Tammy? Yep. Tammy, can you just help me for a second? Come on. Give her a round of applause. Tammy, everybody. I'll have you stand right over here. Right over here. Just right here. So, Tammy, where are you from? Face the audience. Tell me what you saw in this hand.
You're asking me?
Yeah, go ahead.
A lemon?
And what did you see in this hand? Good. So she's really good at imagination. That's why I picked her. Oh, by the way, I will not embarrass you. This will be fun. This is going to be fun. You're going to learn a lot, okay? You're going to have fun. So there are some people that don't get that. It's okay. You can work on it. You can develop this talent. It's like playing the piano. Now, you were pretty far back, but I suggested this was a knife. And in addition, she saw a, Tammy?
Lemon.
All right, put your hand out. Put your hand out. Open that up. Now, we're not done. We're not done. And what does it say?
Imagination.
Imagination. Don't go away. So, I'm telling you, I paid this guy a lot of money for what we just did. A lot of you are thinking, oh, this is silly. Listen, you want to know how successful people fake? This is worth $1 million. This is worth 20 years of my life. 20 years. That simple diagram. Now, I know if you take a picture of that, you go out and you tell your friends are going to say, well, what's on TV tomorrow? That's what they're going to say. Okay, so, do you have something in mind, Tammy, that you want to work on this year? That you want to improve? Okay, can you tell these folks?
Sure.
Okay, what is it?
Just to slow down.
Oh, are you like type A?
I'm fast forward.
You are? Are you going in a direction that is meaningful, or what's going on? What do you do for a living?
Administrative assistant.
Okay.
In the office.
Okay, great. All right, so you want to kind of take a deep breath and you want to slow down. This is perfect for you. All right, I'm going to teach her a ritual, because rituals, we do rituals every day. We floss our teeth, we brush our hair, we brush our teeth. We do rituals all the time. So I'm going to teach you a ritual that you can lock in, that's going to help you connect the conscious with the unconscious using your imagination, that will put yourself in a trance so that by this time next year, you're going to be relaxed, slow down. Would that be beneficial?
Sure.
Okay. Face the audience, and I want you to think of a time. Think of a time, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, let me get my watch. Think of a time that you would use to do this ritual. Now, you don't want to say 3 o'clock, because 3 o'clock in the morning, you don't want to wake up and do it. But you're going to pick a time that you're going to do this ritual. Now, what time is it now?
20 of 12.
So we got 20 and 12, that's about right. 20 at 12, but can you think of a time that you would use this ritual in your life? Like, would it be 5 o'clock at night? Would it be 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock? It's up to you. I'm not going to call you to see if you're doing it. But can you think of a time that would be...
I guess it depends on how long.
You can only do it for 15 minutes a day.
Okay, so say morning.
Okay, good. Give me a time.
Yeah, 5:30.
You want 5:30. Okay. So at 5:30 in the morning, we're going to do this ritual together. Or you're going to do it. The rest of you, if you wrote something down, you can do this too. So this is kind of like, this is a demonstration. This is a demonstration of picking a time. So write down now, if you got that piece of paper, write down a time that you would do this ritual. All right? So she's got 5:30, other people have 2:30. If you're retired, you can do this anytime you want. All you need is about 15 minutes every single day to do this. So you're going to hold this in your hand like this. And you're going to extend it just like this. And is that your dominant hand?
Yes.
Okay, good. So hold it like this, Tammy, and hold it at the end. Now, we're going to use her imagination. It's simply imagination. I just saw Wonka the other day. It's all about imagination. You saw the Gene Wilder one, or you saw the Donnie Depp one. Yeah, I mean, it's all about imagination. It's all about creating magic with your imagination. So, Tammy, I'd like you to think of a clock, and I'd like you to think of a circle. So as you're thinking of a circle, I don't want to influence you, but I want you to influence yourself. Because what you're doing is you're using your imagination. Look at my watch. See how it's going around? Now, I'm not really doing it, but it tends to be doing it all by itself. Now, think of a clock and think of a circle. Think of a circle, think of a clock, think of the hands of the clock. So it's 1:30. Think of it as 1:30. Now think of it as 2:30. It should go around the circle. Is it moving at all?
No, it was before I looked at.
Okay. Oh, you're looking. Okay, so look away up here. Yeah, look up here and just think 1:30. Just think 1:30 on the clock. You're going to use your imagination. You're going to think 1:30, and then you're going to think 2:30. And she said 5:30, right? She's going to do this at 5:30? Okay, so then we go to 3:30. Is it moving in a circle at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. So this takes practice. You know, it's like playing the piano. You have to practice every day. So let's try again. 12:30. Now the hands are going around. 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. Are you 5? Are you 5? Is it moving at all? What do you think? A little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Okay, so take the watch like this, and then there's a little button on top. You just pop it. And tell me the time.
Just after 5:30.
Yeah, there you go. 5:30. That's good. So you're good. You're really good. So 5:30. 5:30. So she's good. I mean, a lot of times we don't see how good we are. So on the floor, Tammy, there's a circle. All right? Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Now come over here. There's also another circle over here. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, on a scale to 1 to 3, 1 being like you think you're never going to slow down, 2, you think you have a little hope, 3, you really feel positive, how do you feel right now about achieving this New Year's Eve resolution? That you're going to slow down, you're going to enjoy your life. 1 is like, oh, I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to be the same place I was last year. 2 is like, I have a little bit of hope, Greg. And then 3, you really think you're going to do it. Where were you?
2.
Okay, it's 2. I'm going to see if I can help her get to a 3 using this. Magic. This is, by the way, I know tricks. This is real magic. You okay with that?
Sure.
Okay, good. All right, what's your favorite color?
Yellow.
Okay, I want you to see a yellow circle. And I want you to see that circle bubbling up. And this is really a nice yellow circle. Almost like that yellow watch that you had in your hand that said 5:30 because you said 5:30. That's the time you want. And now we're going to see if you could just simply slow down. Now in a minute, not yet, but in a moment, I'm going to ask you to step into that circle. And when you step into that circle, the color yellow is going to touch the back of your toes, come up through your ankles, all the way up through your waist, all the way up through your torso, up to your head, and it's going to come out the top of your crown of your head. You're going to take a deep breath in, and you're going to stay in that circle, and you're just going to relax. So before you do it, take a deep breath in through your nose, and then exhale. Now step into the circle. It's coming up, the yellow, through your whole body, up through the top. Take a deep breath in through your nose, take it out through your mouth, just relax, and see that you are achieving this goal of being relaxed. Every single day at 5:30 in the morning, you're going to think about this. Now step back out. Now on a scale of 1, 2, 3, do you feel any better? Honest.
The same.
Okay, good, that's fine, that's fine. She's the same. Now come over here to my office over here. She's a 2. All right, stand over here. All right, can you think of a color that you don't like?
Yes.
What is it?
White.
Okay, white. So we're going to put, like my shirt. Okay, so we're going to put a white circle there, all right? White circle here. Now you don't have to tell people. Don't have to tell people, but I want you to think of a terrible situation in your life. Something that didn't go well. Something that made you depressed or made you angry. And can you get something? Okay, can you actually feel it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Step in that white circle. Now just realize that you're going to repeat after me in your mind. I'm never going to be relaxed. Say that. Never going to be relaxed in your mind. I'm never going to achieve my goal. Say that in your mind. I'm probably never going to have this happen to me. And then think about the terrible experience that you went through at the same time. See it bright around you. Now step out of the circle. You feel better or worse? Or about the same?
About the same.
Okay, that's fine. Now come over here. All right? This circle over here, I want you to make it bigger, bigger, bigger. That is a yellow circle. This circle is calling your name, and the name of the circle is what? What would you say that this circle is, if you had to put a name to it? This is the name of your circle. That is everything that you want.
Positivity.
Step into it. Now you see how she lit up when she said that word? How do you feel right now?
2.5.
Okay, 2.5. Good, good, good. Good. Come over here. No, this takes time. This is not a microwave. This is a crock pot. No, this definitely takes time. So she went from a 2 to 2.5. Not bad. Okay. Gonna have you hold that. I want you to try to open that. Okay. Now, step into the white circle, and I want you to think of a frustrating experience that you had recently with your family, with your loved ones, with the people at work. I want you to see it, I want you to feel it, I want you to say negative things to yourself, and I want you to try to open that lock.
Go down, try to open.
Yep. How do you feel now?
Frustrated.
Okay, good. So, I am a hypnotist. I am a magician. And so are you. And so are you. And so are you. So are you. So are you. So are you. You're all hypnotists. You're all magicians. All of you, whether you know it or not. Either way, you're putting yourself in a trance. By the words you use, by the things you see. Okay. So, how do you feel now?
Okay.
Good, step out. All right. She's okay because she's enjoying herself. But, watch what we're going to do to her. That's wrong. Watch what she does to herself. Think of something that was really bad. Really frustrating. Now that white circle is calling your name, Tammy, but it's bringing up your past. And it's saying, who do you think you are? You're not going to achieve this. It's not going to happen for you. Now in a moment, you're going to step in that circle. You're at a 2.5 or 2. Let's see if you can bring her down to a 1. And then she's going to take those 3 keys and she's going to try it in the lock. And it's not going to open. And she's going to feel even more sad. Go ahead, step in the white circle. Try the first key. Try the second key. Try the third key. How do you feel?
Frustrated.
Yep, okay. It's amazing what we do to our words and our thinking and our thoughts and our influencing. Okay, are you still at 2.5 or 2? What are you now?
2.5.
You still at 2.5? You don't feel any worse?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, she
So I'm
feels worse.
frustrated, so
She's
yeah, down to
frustrated.
2.
Okay, so we went from, okay, 2 to 2.5, back to 2. Do you want to see her get to a 1? Make her cry? No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do it. We don't need it. So I made her laugh. So we got to bring you back over here. We got to bring her back over here. Okay. So all we're doing is we're playing with her imagination. So let's do it here. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. We're going to go all the way up to the ceiling. 10 is like you have no doubts that you're going to achieve serenity in 2024. That you're going to be peaceful, that you're going to slow down. I know you're at a 2.5, but let's see if we can get you up to a 3 or a 4. I don't know where she's going to go. It's all subjective, right? It's subjective, right? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? Can you give those 3 keys to him? Because I don't want to touch these. I don't want you to think I'm doing sleight of hand, because I'm not doing sleight of hand. Just hold on to those, sir, and I'll give you this back. This is, and I wouldn't lie to you, this is the only key that opens the lock. All right? This is the only key. Sir, I'll give you these, and you can put them in there. This is the only key. Now, I wouldn't set Tammy up, so I promise you this is going to be successful. So hold the key in one hand. Now, I want you to think about what you want in this new year. The rest of you can do it too. In a moment, you're going to step into the yellow circle. You're going to feel the yellow circle coming up. You're going to say something positive. I deserve this. This is my year to be calm and have serenity and peacefulness. And I know, Greg wouldn't lie to me, this key is going to open. And it's going to open the lock. It's going to open the lock. And we're going to see if we can get you from a 2 to a 3. If we get you to a 3 or 4 or 5, we'll be delighted. No pressure. How do you feel about it?
Fine.
Okay, step into the yellow circle, say those positive things, feel the yellow coming up around your body, all over you, then take the key, put it in the lock, and open the lock. And then tell me how you feel. On a scale of 1 to 10, do you feel any better?
Yes.
You do. Step back out. What is that number?
3.
Excellent. So we went from a 2 to 2.5 to 3. Now, all we're doing is conditioning the unconscious and the conscious, harmonizing the two, using her imagination, putting her into a trance. If we were to repeat this every day at 5:30, she would have what she wanted. Okay. Take the key out, give it to him, lock the lock. Okay. Sir, drop all those keys in there. Tammy, stand over here, in the middle, in the middle. Now, we have the positive circle here, which is serenity, right? Is that a good word? Mm-hmm. Serenity, peace, right? That's yellow, right? So we went from a 2 to 2.5 to 3. I feel good about this, right? Now, if she were to come over here to this white circle and step into this white circle, she might go back down to a 2, or she might go back to a 1. What are we doing? It's just imagination. All we're doing is playing with imagination. That's all we're doing. All right, so I got one key that works, the other keys that don't. And he has put them all in. I have not used any sleight of hand at all. These are mixed. I don't even know which the real one is. I have to look at the teeth. And she's not going to be able to know because she can't examine the teeth in the short time that we have. But on your other hand, I'm going to put her right here. She's got 3 keys. Now, this is worth $1 million. You're going to pick one key. And you're going to either step in this circle or you're going to step in that circle. This circle is, I got this. I got this for 2024. I'm going to be relaxed. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be, every day at 5:30, I'm going to sit and think about this. I'm going to do a Greg talk, and I'm going to pick the right key because I'm going to use my intuition, and I'm just going to go with it, and it's going to work. Or, you say, oh, this never works for me. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm a loser. My mom never loved me. And then you're going to stand over here, you're going to put the wrong key in. The choice is yours. The trance is yours. The trance and the choice is yours. You can be part of this circle, which is the majority of people in the world, or you can be in that circle. Choose now. Very nice. Okay, so give me 2 keys that I'm going to get rid of. How do you feel right now? Good, she feels good. All right, step into the circle. It's yellow. How do you feel right now? How do you feel right now?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Take the key that you chose and put it in the lock. And then tell me how you feel. Good. Nice. Yes. On a scale of 1 to 10, How positive do you think and feel?
5.
She's a 5, ladies and gentlemen. Give her a hand. Have a seat.
All right.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay. So, what do we do? What we just demonstrated in the last 15 minutes is this. If you don't remember anything, remember Tammy. That's it.
There you go.
We set her up with a ritual, 5:30. She's going to do this every morning. She wants to connect the conscious and the unconscious using the imagination, put her in a trance. Now this is not going to happen overnight for Tammy. She's got to wash, rinse, and repeat. This will put her in the 2% category. Because ladies and gentlemen, most people, because their conscious mind has easily been distracted and their unconscious is on autopilot, most people end up sitting in this circle, repeating patterns over and over again for the rest of their life. Wonder why nothing has changed. What I just shared with you is real magic. It's real magic. So, any questions? Anybody have any questions? I'm here for a couple minutes. I know we're running overtime. I will tell you, if you want to stay with this for 3 months, January, February, March, all you have to do is go to this website. It's called Focus with Greg Dwyer, which is right on your card. I think I have it somewhere here. I had it earlier. Yeah, it's here somewhere. But it's on your card. So right here it says Focus with Greg Dwyer. If you go to www.focuswithgregdwyer, or you do the QR code, you go home to your nieces and nephew and figure out how to do that. It's a 3-month course for free. And I'm not selling you anything. Nothing to buy. Nothing. So every week you'll get an email from me and a video, and it'll say, we talked about this today, go and do it. We talked about this today. Why 12 weeks? Because it takes time to develop a habit. You don't just go to a seminar and listen to this and say, well, you know, that guy was pretty good, I really liked it. You know, you wouldn't go to a piano instructor and hear him talk about playing the piano and go, oh, yeah. If you really want to change your life, sign up for this course. It's really simple. You just put your email in there and you can opt out anytime you want. I'll never call you and sell you anything. Totally free. Any questions? The other thing is my friend Kenton, I spent 2.5 days with him. A lot of what he taught me is on this card. I sell these for $95 at corporate events. They're not for sale here at the library. If you want to make a donation to the library, in other words, whatever you give me, I'm going to give to Donna. So if you give me a $100 bill, I'm going to say, here's a $100 bill. You give me a $10 bill, I don't care what you give me, I will give it to her. You'll get to keep this card, you'll download my book, Kenton's book. I do not need your money. Okay? So I'm here to help you, and I'm also here to help the library. If you came to my house in Bantam and Litchfield, it looks like a library. It is wall-to-wall books. I only have 10 of these. It is donation only, and it benefits the library 100%. Okay, so let me close with this. I would not be here today if it wasn't Christmas morning, 1972. My Uncle Victor, I love this guy. He was wonderful. He took the coin like this, and he said, Greg, he said, come over here. I said, what, Vic? He says, I want to show you something. And I'm 10. And I'm like, what? Now, that was just a trick. That was just a trick. The real magic is focus through hypnosis.